Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third of 4 listening sessions. We're glad you're here. We're here to listen. Just a few logistical things before we get started. Restrooms, as you came in the front door, the restrooms were to the right at the end of that hall. You guys have probably been here many times, know everything, so I see you nodding. I don't need to tell you these things. If you have not already done so, please sign our sign-in sheet so that if you make a comment or ask a question and we need to follow up with you, we have the information to reach you. Also, on the table as you were coming in was all sorts of City of Bowie materials. Be sure to take one of everything or more, hand them out to your neighbors, whatever you would like to do with them. And there's information there about code enforcement, the police, signing up for Alert Bowie if you haven't already done that, the U.S. Census, and a variety of other things. One of the pieces of paper that's out there is about a workforce training program that the city is sponsoring. I'm bringing it to your attention because the training, the date for it to sign up is tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And this is a program for ages 15 to 25, where the kids will get training and some job skills, some life skills training, and then they will have an opportunity possibly to be placed in a position. So I encourage you, if you know kids at that age that need a little help, then this might be the program for them. And the applications are out there as well. And it runs for 4 sessions, for 4 weeks, 1 night a week. This meeting is being recorded, courtesy of Mark Patterson over there. It will be broadcast on the city's website at cityofbowie.org/meetings. It will be on our YouTube channel, and it will also be on the government channel, which is Verizon 10, or Comcast 71, or 996 if you have HD. So let me tell you how it's going to go tonight. And like I said, this is our 3rd one. Each one has sort of been evolving. Hopefully we're getting a little better at doing it. I'll be introducing each member of the council and the mayor that are here. And then really, truly what we're here to do tonight is to listen to you. So we will invite you to come up to the microphone. We didn't know what to expect. We're planning for a big crowd, so if there's overflow, they can go up on the stage and there's a microphone up there as well. But we want to hear your ideas, your thoughts, what we're doing well, what we're not doing well. Where do you think the city should be spending its money? What are the priorities? The council will be going into budget deliberations later this spring, so what they hear tonight will help to tell them what's important to the people of Bowie. There's several staff members here in the audience, and they're all taking notes, and we're compiling all of the comments that we hear at these sessions into these great big spreadsheets, and we're assigning staff people to address the issues. If it's a staff-related issue, if it's more a policy or spending one, then the people that you see here will be taking it up at a later date. But this really helps to inform all of us and to educate us about what's important to the people of Bowie. We don't want to take anything for granted here. You can also, if you do not like to speak, you can text your comments to the phone numbers that are listed on these 2 boards, and Stephanie up there is compiling them. And every few speakers, I will interrupt, and I'll read some of the comments that are coming in via text if they are. We're also taking comments via email, and you can send that to publicinfo@cityofbowie.org. And each of those emails is being forwarded to the council members and to the city manager. And again, they're going into this big spreadsheet where we're compiling all the things. There's some themes that have emerged from the previous sessions, so it'll be interesting to see if it's some of the same things here or if there's different ones, but we hope everything that you're thinking comes out tonight. Related to Bowie, and if it's something that we can address or that concerns you. With that, I'd like to start by introducing Mayor Tim Adams here. Would you like to?
Hey, good evening. That was my way of waking you up. Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, thank you for coming out and see. I'd like to reiterate again what we just heard, and that is the reason we're doing this is because as mayor and as a council, we wanted to make sure that we heard what your concerns were, what your thoughts were, what your solutions were. We really just wanted to hear from you. As we look at trying to set out a true agenda as we move forward, we need to know what's your priorities, what are your concerns. One of the things we've constantly talked about is making sure that we make sure we hear your voice and understand that our role is simply to do what you want, i.e. to support your voice and your wishes as the citizens of Bowie. One of the reasons why we've done before, we're doing in different parts of the city. But a part of that is for those who can't make it tonight, please encourage them that we have another coming up before. But that we make it really a strong effort to make sure we hear everyone's voice, because that's what's important. So again, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here. Thank you for sharing with us, because the only way we can be successful for you is if we hear what you want and what your concerns are. So again, thank you for being here. And again, remember, what we're trying to do is make sure that we all remember, we're one city, we're one Bowie. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike Estev. I think most folks in this room I've probably met at some point in the last couple of years. I really appreciate your coming out tonight. I expect that the weather will have some more folks filing in, including one of our council colleagues here in a minute. I just want to say a huge thank you to Mayor Adams. When you first came on board, I can't believe it's only been 2 months. It feels like it's been 2 years, honestly, in the best way possible. This was a big priority for him, making sure that we got out into the community and talked to folks directly. And so we have been doing that. We have one more session, as the mayor said, coming up on the 26th. On the 26th at the Kendall Center at 7 p.m. It's a Wednesday night. And we've been doing this, we've been going along. We have tonight probably half a dozen members of city staff, and at all these events, city staff have been coming as well. We've been recording these, we've been taking notes in multiple different places. And so we've also been compiling the sorts of feedback we've been getting from residents. So our goal is going to be, as this continues, to work through those things, through those points that residents have been giving us, those things that will require council action, we're going to put on agendas to address, things that staff can handle internally, they're going to handle internally. So we are actively working on your feedback. You're not just speaking to a brick wall, we're actively taking what you're saying and we're working on it now. And we really appreciate your feedback tonight. You can reach all of us through our various social media channels, through our websites. And then, of course, you can reach out to us, as Una indicated, through any of the formal government communication channels that we've made available. And thank you all for being here. We look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Duke Wolf. I'm District 2 Councilman. I want to thank you all for being here this evening, taking the time to show your commitment to the community and participate and to let people here know what the issues are. I want to just make one additional comment about the current City Council. I'm one of 3, I was 2 of 3 council members that carry over from the last council. I cannot begin to tell you how much of a difference it has made in terms of the new people coming in on the council, how enthused and how engaged they have been with all things regarding the city of Bowie. And what has been particularly nice is there's a shared interest and commitment to hearing what our citizens and what the community as a whole is interested in, and hoping that direct the focus for the organization, the city council as a whole. So thank you all for being here and doing your part. I know we're committed to doing our part. We won't solve all the world's problems, but certainly we'll tackle as many as we can. And I'm really excited with the team that we have together. We really are committed. We'll disagree on some things on how we get there, of course, but nonetheless, it's an outstanding start, I think, to the new session. So thank you very much for being here. I think we'll take it from here with Una.
Yep. I did not introduce myself, so let me do that. I'm Una Cooper, I'm the Communications Manager for the city. And I wanted to introduce the City Manager, Alfred Lott. And the Assistant City Manager, Daniel Mears, who's on the stage. And like I said, there's several other staff members here as well. Would you guys like to just stand up and let people know who you are? Okay. We're going to ask people to come up to the mic, as I said. We're not going to respond to every single comment that's made because we want to make sure to give everybody a chance to speak. The council members who may weigh in on something particular, but please don't expect a response to every single comment. Two of our council members are not here tonight, and that's Councilmember Adrian Guapo and Roxy and Deb Motto. She's out of the country, and I believe he has a work commitment tonight. We are expecting Ingrid Harrison, who's the other council member at large, and Henri Gardner could also not be here this evening. Okay. If you would come up to the microphone, anyone, state your name and where you live, and get us started. Please, thank you. Thank you. Don't leave me hanging.
Good evening. Good evening. All right, my name is Billy Lewis, and I live at Glen Allen, way on the other side. And after maybe it over to the south, so today, for tonight. Thank you for holding such a good session. And my concern, we talked about a lot of things about Bowie. I love Bowie. I've been here for 20 years. Ever since then now. But the concern is really about Bowie Town Center and the kind of stores that we're attracting, and a lot of stores are closing. And I know there's an economic development advisory board. Wonder how I could be a part of that. So not just the town center, but throughout just a more pleasant city. It's a great city. I've been here 20 years, like I said, and I love it. I'm sure that this continues. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Okay.
I'm about to say, this will be really short.
Hi, good evening, Mayor Adams, City Council. Thank you for having the listening session. I appreciate you hearing our concerns. And I think this is the first time this has been done before, so I really appreciate you coming out and hearing our concerns. So I'm Monica Roebuck, and I'm at 3313 Montclair Lane in Bowie. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is education. I'm on the City Bowie Education Committee, and one of the things that we brought up and been talking about is the need for a second high school in Bowie. Bowie High School is over capacity. It's very crowded. We actually have a member on the committee that is a student member. And so she lets us know about some of the things that are going on in the high school. A lot of the buildings are aging, they're getting really old. They need new roofs. When I taught at Benjamin Tasker for many years, and they had mold, and the mold had to be removed. Some of the schools have lead in the water. So I think it's going to be really important that we work with Dr. Golson, the CEO, the Board of Education, and also our school board member to see how we can secure more funding so that we can have better schools. Again, they're over capacity and they're aging, and we really just need new buildings. I also want to just echo what was just mentioned about the retail. I would like to see more quality retail and shopping within the city. We are an affluent city, And we have the strongest and the highest tax base in Prince George's County. And we deserve to have quality retail so that we don't have to go outside of the county and spend our money. I like to keep all my dollars here in Prince George's County and particularly in the city. So I would love to see, as you guys begin to think about Bowie Town Center and revitalizing it, I would love to see in Nordstrom or a high-end quality department store, a Cheesecake Factory, or some other type of really nice restaurant within Bowie. And again, I love Bowie, I like being here, and I've lived here also for 20 years, and I wanted to continue. But I want to also have the options here for shopping and dining, and spending my money that are quality places. The ice arena. So I know that the council voted on that a year or so ago, but I really don't want to see it built. And the reason why is I think that the majority of the residents in Bowie don't really want it. I think that if the ice arena is built, I think it should be combined with other things within the ice arena so that more people can use it, like a multi-use facility. When the survey went out, I don't think ice was at the top. And so for me, as a city resident, that I think that our money can be best used in some other way. I think that's about it. I have a concern about it, but I think that's about it. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rhoda.
My name is Frank Hudson. I live in High Bridge Park on Gresham Court, and I wanted to ask a question to start with. Do we have noise control or noise abatement ordinances in Bowie?
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, this past Saturday night, we had the latest in an ongoing series of motorcycle rallies in the little shopping center at the corner of High Bridge and Route 450. My house is about 3/8 of a mile from that intersection, and the noise is loud enough to keep me awake for quite a long time. It started at about 10:30 and went until at least 11:15. And since we know this is going on, it's been going on for quite a long time, I was wondering if we couldn't get some more police presence in this shopping center parking lot, and perhaps the, what do you call them, the photographic traffic control things that catch the speeders. I haven't been there to check out what's going on firsthand, so I don't know if they're just sitting in the parking lot and racing their engines, or if they're actually roaring up and down Route 450. But I think we could use a few more of those, let's call them speed traps, on both High Bridge and Route 450.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. Okay, I'm going to read one that's come in by text while we're waiting for someone else to come up. This one says, I'm Taryn McCombs, a resident of Saddlebrook West. I'm interested in knowing what concrete measures are planned to control overdevelopment and preserve the serenity of our neighborhoods. Thank you for that. Welcome.
That is a really good lead-in to the thing I'm about to talk about. My name is Brianna. I used to live in Bowie. I actually live in Upper Marlboro now. I got to know several Bowie citizens over the summer, and they were concerned about the airport being turned into townhomes in this development along Church Road. I was happy to learn a lot from them about what their community might look like. My community and I were invited against an Amazon warehouse. And so what we've done since then is organize as a committee to restore term limits to the larger county council. I know it's not specific to the city council, but it is specific to the county. For districts 4 and 6 and any, I guess, Bowie adjacent districts, for overdevelopment that comes as a result of prioritizing the needs of developers instead of the wishes of residents. So if you'd like to learn more about the efforts of the community to restore term limits, We are collecting signatures. We need 10,000 before June 15th to get an item on the ballot to say that county council members can only have 2 consecutive terms at a time, at which time they must leave office. They could come back for 2 more terms, and that's it. They cannot do what they do now, where they continue on from district council and could go on to at large and back and forth and back and forth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can bring them on.
Yes, we will. Just bring it. There you go.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the handicap thing. But at any rate, good afternoon, everyone. I haven't seen a lot of you in quite a while. I've been ill, I'm on the mend, and it's great to be here, and it's good to see all of you, all my old friends. Mayor, I met you sometime back during election. You were over in Jericho Park, wheeling around, putting up signs, and you were at 197 and Old Jericho Park Road, and I met you. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. I really want to ask what's going on in Jericho Park. There was some talk about annexation, the college being annexed. The college is doing a lot of great, wonderful things over there starting, I think, this month. And we've got a lot of land over there. And I was wondering if there are any plans to develop that land, get some of this weight off of 301 and put it over there in Jericho Park, because there's a lot of land over there. Anyway, can anybody tell me what's going on in Jericho Park?
Joe, would you like to?
Joe, do we have any imminent development plans at Jericho Park? I don't think so.
I'm Joe Minor, I'm the planning director for Bowie. The project that has yet to be developed is the county-owned land. It's nearby the university, and that's a piece of property that the county searched for a master developer to work with them on. I think that process was not successful, so it's really up to Prince George's County to market that property. There was a master plan done by Park and Planning. It was for a mixed-use development. The zoning was given for mixed use, so there it sits. It's waiting for an opportunity to come along. So I think that's the property you're referencing. I think time will tell.
Thank you so much for that information. I've just been away and I'm curious as to what's going on. I've seen bulldozers, and that's a scary thing to see.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Is he on?
Good evening. Thank you for having these sessions. Very important. I am Isabel Popolo. I'm in the Whitehall section of Levitt. I've been there since I was 18 months old, 1967, you can do the math. And my family history goes back to 1935, the Beller Mansion. So tonight, though, I'm representing the Huntington Heritage Society as their vice president. And the Huntington Heritage Society was founded in 1986 as an organization with the goal to preserve the history of Old Bowie. We're approaching our 35th birthday, and our goals are the same. And we have 2 issues we want to share tonight. It is a known fact that economic development in Old Bowie continues to be a problem, and the Heritage Trail, Phase 2, with its accompanying park and playground, would be a real asset to the economic development. Hikers, bikers, walkers, young and old, would enjoy their journey along the trail to the railroad tracks, and the kids would enjoy the railroad-themed playground with a play train, trestle, bridge, swings, and such. The park will have a small replica village of homes and businesses showcasing the 7 iconic buildings found in Huntington. This project has been in the making for almost 20 years, and this phase 2 is being pushed off by 6 years, according to information on your website. The City of Bowie has shown its support for our heritage, and we are fortunate for that. And we would like very much for the City Council to fund this project in next year's budget, instead of waiting for 6 years from now. Economic development in all parts of Bowie is essential, and it's essential to keeping Bowie's history alive. Our railroad museum is a small gem. Let's add to its appeal with funding to complete the Heritage Trail. And our last, second item was the disposition of Bowie Racetrack. The property is under much consideration. The city of Bowie held a community meeting last month, and it shows how important this land is to everyone. But it's not just land, it's history. The track contributed to much to the lives of the people of Bowie and to people up and down the East Coast. Its history goes back to 1914. The track provided income to locals on many levels and brought lots of people to Bowie for a fun day. We need to commemorate Bowie's role in the racing industry, and we feel it is important regardless of the final disposition of the property, which we hope will be entirely up to the city of Bowie, that there should be a memorial park recognizing the track as a contributor to the city, to the history, and to the heritage of this city. And in yet another aspect of our history, its history needs to be connected to the people of the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Grill. We have just been joined by Councilmember at Large Henri Gardner. Welcome, Mr. Gardner. I am just going to read a couple of comments that have come in. This person says, I'm concerned about the fence along the racetrack. I assume we're talking about fence in the whole Bowie. Right? Okay. Would you mind? Since we're recording, we just want to make sure to capture everything. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Latoya Cass. Thanks for having us. And I do have some concerns on the adding. I thought the fence along the train tracks, safety of the fence. So hopefully we can get something wrong with that. After emailing Amtrak, and I have gotten some feedback from them.
Okay. Yeah. You've already been working with Madam Conservative on this,
Yes,
right?
I have.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
Can I ask you, has, you've been working with Maddie Pizzuto on this, right? Has she given you an update recently? You don't have to, you're fine. Just
Not
say your thing.
updates,
Okay.
but Amtrak representative said that they were going to come out. One of the representatives from Amtrak, Susan Michael as well, he's going to send someone out, he said, in the next few weeks to do another, survey of the fence along the area where I live. I don't know about the entire fence, so.
Right. Let's, it's weird the reason mics work this close to each other, but we both have polls, so we may as well. Let's talk offline. I think I have an update on that, but I don't want to share anything premature.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Good evening. My name is Dustin Kuzan. I'm in Bowie Forest. Thank you for holding these sessions. This is really great that we get to talk about what's concerning us. You might regret allowing me an open floor. So I'm going to be really fast, just go through each one really quick. And maybe a follow-up question would be, how are these, how can we follow up on our questions later? So one thing I have a concern about, we're moving into the master planning process. I've gotten an invite via email to come to a listening session, which is during the workday. It's for a focus on the environment, but I can't attend that. And I'm not sure, I haven't heard anything else about sessions, workshops or sessions about the master plan, but I think that should be an important component to frequently going out to the community and talking and having different times available for people to give their input on the master plan. I'm assuming the Park and Planning has a relatively small budget for that, so it would be helpful maybe if the city can support that and maybe take on some of that workload for them. Regarding, I guess, development, so I was wondering if we can codify the master plan and look at Rockville, how they codified some of the land use you know, we have that ongoing issue where land use changes really easily. They've actually codified it in law, which makes it much more difficult to do so. Also, I was wondering if we could look at public facility ordinances and update those and look at connectivity between new developments, which seems to be lacking with some of the new developments of connecting walking trails to shopping centers that are coming on, down the pipeline. For Old Bowie, if you guys have invested interest in revitalizing Old Bowie area, I think it might be helpful if we start off with maybe a plan, sort of strategic plan on looking at connectivity and circulation, and sidewalks and trash cleanup and beautification. That maybe then could lead. And then could maybe lead into a larger, maybe longer vision of an arts and entertainment district. And hopefully we can have more community meetings about that. Traffic regarding the whole city, I think we should look at smart technology. I think there's ways that we can do creative, innovative technology improvements at the signals to reduce traffic flow. That's something we probably have a conversation with SHA, and I'd be happy to help facilitate that. And racetrack, we can preserve racetrack, open space, active open space, regardless of whoever ends up owning it. We can ask them to preserve active open space and also preserve the memory of the racetrack so that we hold on to the heritage of the racetrack. And I'll save the rest for the next two sessions.
Thank you, Mr. Kuzan.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Jeff Henry. I've been living in Old Town, Bowie now for 4 years. 2 blocks down, so I can actually walk here, but I'd rather drive because it's not safe. I'd like to know, will we be developing any sidewalks in the near future? And what are we doing about the speed limit? Because that's another issue there. People speeding up and down. Matter of fact, if you're coming down Old Road, there are times when people are speeding to get around me, and it's 30 miles an hour. It's crazy. And you already touched on it. I got a new house that was just renovated up here on the right, but I'm surrounded by all kinds of trash. And all the bushes, trees all around me. Somebody needs to be doing something about this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I met you after you were walking in my neighborhood, you was campaigning, and you came in the back way, and you got that little dog in there.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you all.
Mr. Henry, what street did you say is overrun in the trash?
The old Laurel Bowie Road, right?
Oh, okay. We have another text that's come in. This one, somebody else was mentioning technology, Mr. Kuzan, before for traffic. This one is about cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. It says, Bitcoin is the future of finance. What will Bowie do to meet this evolution and potentially capitalize on it? Okay. I know that our IT director is aware of this because we have had conversations about it. I can't really answer for him.
We're not moving any of our currency to Bitcoin. Just want to be clear about that. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, sir.
Yes, Roger Barnes, longtime resident of Huntington, Bowie. I don't want to call it old Bowie. Mr. Mayor, Councilman, appreciate having this meeting right here today. I have some, and not in this order, I have some topics, hot topics that I listed here while I was sitting here. Sidewalks. Well, I live right on 5th Street, 2 blocks away. Had I walked here, 2 cars come in at the same time, I have to step to the side. I think that's a problem. We need to make Huntington, Bowie a walkable community. Kids should not have to cross people's houses in the morning to go to the school bus, get on the school bus. Okay, some other topics I have is street lights, what's to mention the sidewalks, gym space. This recreation center right here, no gym. Our kids have to go to Glendale, Huntington, South Bowie, just to play, especially this time of the year. Code enforcement. Trash cans being left out. During Thanksgiving, I never saw so many crows and big birds eating their dinner, lunch or whatever. Clothing boxes. I don't see these orange, bright orange, yellow clothes boxes in North Bowie, South Bowie. But I do see them here in Huntington. Street parking. 2 cars parked on both sides. I don't know how a fire truck can get through in most of these streets. Animal control. Mr. Mayor, you mentioned being one city. I definitely agree to that, but we need to make South Bowie, North Bowie all the same. Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes. Mr. Green, welcome.
How are you doing today? Mayor Adams, evening, council, staff. I'm going to try to be very brief. Pretty much so what Mr. Barnes has said, and this gentleman over here has said. I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit. But let me start with the bridge. We've been after trying to get that bridge, and I know it belongs to the state. We've had this conversation before with the previous staff. Okay? They need to do some repairs there. The guardrails are deteriorating, bricks, foundation is being torn apart from the accidents that occur on the bridge, around the bridge. It's also a safety hazard, especially in bad weather. When they come flying, just like the gentleman just indicated, they're speeding down that highway or the roadway there. They hit the guardrail, they hit the brick wall, bam, tore up. Now, you have debris all over the roadway. In addition to the trash that washes down there on a normal basis, but you have carting. What can we do to get that picked up? Okay? Get that cleaned up. What can we do in terms of working with the state to get them to do the repairs? To follow up on that, we're concerned also, as they mentioned, the sidewalk areas, especially the sidewalk areas that they put in the business district. It's not being maintained. They did a good job of putting it down, but they're not maintaining it. Trash and debris that's found, not only just hard parts, but you got bags of trash. Trash along the wooded area, going down Lanham 7 Road, Old Bowie Law Road, coming back into Old Bowie, we've got a lot of trash. The best time to see it is this time of year. Police presence. It's a great improvement, in terms of the police presence. But we would like to see more. The dirt bikes, that's a problem. Again, like the gentleman mentioned about the noise ordinance. I can't even sit in my yard and try to enjoy it, because of the noise. Safety is also a concern. Now, I know we've approached this with the police department, and they mentioned they are not allowed to chase. But I do remember back in the day, being with ex-law enforcement, working with them, there were tickets, warning tickets to be issued. Bikes would be impounded. Now, these bikes are not hard to find. We know who they are. We know where they are. They park them in the front yard. Okay? Still, we're being told nothing can be done about it. The drug activity has improved tremendously here in the area, but we still have it. And most of that activity is on 6th Street. Now, I'm not just here on the behalf of myself. I'm here on the behalf of a few of the other residents who couldn't make it here tonight. Some of them are afraid to talk for fear of retaliation. I don't have any fear of it. I leave it in the Lord's hands. We're looking at speeding vehicles. Chestnut, Lanham 7 Road, when they're coming in from work, going to work, we're looking at them possibly speeding. And as Mr. Barnes and the other gentleman just mentioned, the kids cross over on the other side when they're coming towards the bus, where the bridge area is, visibility is very poor there. Caution signs at the intersections of these signs, at the intersections of the roads, especially down here at the bridge, at Chestnut and Lanham 7, not Lanham 7, Old Bowie Road, we have the orange, yellow caution signs to let you know that that is occurring. Those signs are torn down now from previous accidents. We would like to have something done about that if at all possible. I think this will conclude my little memos for this evening, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Okay, we have another text. This one says, congratulations to the new mayor and city council. Can we create a positive campaign to help mitigate the trash problem that is not just a Bowie problem, but is everywhere? I realize the county manages public schools, but there are many private schools and encourage a curriculum that teaches our children about the ill effects of so many plastic bottles and tires and McDonald's. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. Welcome, come on up.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having this listening session. My name is Dana. I live in Rockledge. I've been a resident for a little over 10 years, and I have a handful of things I just wanted to put down. So I went to the other listening session, and I think I will probably be the only person in Bowie who says this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I advocate for 1 day a week of trash pickup. There's huge savings that you can see there. And I would like to see expansion of the composting program, pick up compost twice a week, trash once a week, recycling once or twice a week. By the way, the Public Works Department guys are so great. I haven't seen any women on the trucks, but they are really, really awesome. They seem to have good morale, so props. They're always really nice. Okay, so next, I'd like to see better and safer non-car infrastructure. Even in the old neighborhoods, like in Rockledge, where I live, and Whitehall, where I spend a fair amount of time, the roads, it's the way it was developed. They're like almost 4 cars wide. Like if you were a really good parker, you could fit 4 cars across. People drive faster the wider the road is. I know Bowie is not going to come in and narrow all the roads, but I don't know if there's additional traffic calming that needs to happen, or consider some curb bump outs, because people will slow down. I mean, I have little kids, so like half my things are about little kids, but it's a little concerning. And I don't necessarily think we need more sidewalks everywhere. I don't mind not having to like shovel my sidewalk, because I don't have one in front of my house. But it is concerning, and the police, it's actually the county police, but they speed in my neighborhood, like really fast in Rockledge. And that just makes me angry. Like, why are the police men and women breaking the law? So that happened in my neighborhood the other day, so I felt a little fired up. I'll tell you about it. Oh yeah, Bowie State University. Awesome institution. I've learned a lot about it since I've been closer by. I grew up in Southern Maryland, so I wasn't as familiar. I would love to see more integration with Bowie State. One of the things that we don't have around here are really nice like gymnasium or pool facilities. I take my kids over to Sports and Learning or to Fairland, so if I want to have them participate in gymnastics, we don't have anything like that there. That seems like a good, what would it be? school-city partnership to put in a nice facility that the city residents can also use. Okay, I'm also probably the only person in Bowie, but I'll say this one out loud too. I'm pro ADUs. I think it's a great way, especially for folks who are now it's accessory dwelling unit, who maybe have downsized their family, their children have moved out, or perhaps they're divorced and they only have one child. Then you can use your property as a way to actually bring in income. The people are coming. The region is going to grow like crazy, is my understanding. And I would rather see greater density than more large lot development sprawled all over the place. Because that's part of our problem when we don't have density and walkability. Everybody has to get in a car. I get in my car to go 1 mile to the grocery store because there's not really an alternative. But I picked to live here, so that's my fault. But maybe we could do something about it. And I think we could attract a lot of those young buyers by being a little bit more transportation that way. I'm also against building the ice rink on Church Road. I don't think it serves the people of Bowie. I'd like to see more facilities integrated, even if you have 2 rinks and actually downtown. And I'm happy that we're having a master planning process. I like the idea of the MARC mixed-use project. I'd love to see something like that happen, but we need to build the infrastructure to make that work. You can't have mixed use with like 20 townhomes. You have to actually have the density there, and then the connectivity to Huntington or Old Bowie and other places so that people don't have to walk or ride their bike along 197. I'll stop now, so thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. I am going to comment on 2 things that you said. First of all, thank you for your comments about the Public Works Department. Our Public Works Director is in the back row there, George Stefanos. So I'm glad he's here to hear that from you. And then the other thing, you mentioned Bowie State University and pool facilities. A pool just opened up there again. I don't know if you're aware of that. And it's cool. What I have read, it's also going to be available to the community for lessons and swimming. So, anybody else? Let's see. Come on, yeah.
Welcome. Good evening. Thank you, Mayor Adams and the council for holding this kind of a session. I have been a resident of Bowie for about 7 years now. I live in Old Stage. So I live right up the street from the airport and where this new ice rink will be, and that will completely change our experience in Bowie. We love Bowie. My husband and I have talked, like, when these things come, you know, we might not be able to stay, we may not want to stay over there with all of that development. So it just has a real impact. We love that the airport's right there. He'll take our daughters to just go sit and watch the airplanes. And I know that that's gone, you know, that's on its way out. But that's some of the appeal to, you know, moving to Bowie. So I do have questions and comments. So first is not a rhetorical question. It's about dogs. And so maybe this is animal control. So I have a neighbor who has started walking the dog off the leash, is right next. Okay, so whose ordinance law is that a violation of? This is a real question.
The city and the county both have animal control ordinances, so you can call either one city or county law. Call the city here, we'll move faster. But just keep in mind that along Church Road, it's like a checkerboard of what neighborhoods are in Bowie and which ones aren't. So
we're in. We pay the taxes, we vote, we're in.
Okay, cool. And
Yep.
this is happening in the
Yes.
neighborhood lives in your
Yes.
neighborhood. Okay. Then you can call city animal control.
And the person is a member of law enforcement.
Okay.
Yes, how about that? County.
So I'll give you the number for animal control after this.
Okay, and something that can really be done quickly,
Yes.
you know, because this stuff, I mean, it comes and goes. It's like I'm throwing the ball and. Thank you. Next, the e-news is Bowie News, whatever it's called, that comes out. It's really, really great. It's a great source of information. I use it to mark up my calendar and see what kind of activities I want to take my kids to and what I want to be involved in. I think I just kind of stumbled across signing up, so I'm not sure what methods you use to get the word out to the community that it's there, but I think it's a really great resource. You're doing a great job with communication. So I hope I hope it's getting into a lot of hands. It's a really great communication tool.
She's talking about alert Bowie.
Thank you.
Yes.
And there are sign-up sheets out there in the card with information about it. You need to fill out the form and we'll sign you up, or you can go online. There's information out there on the table about that.
Art and culture. So there's the great Performance Arts Center that's connected to the high school. I've been to a couple events there. It's a beautiful space. When I look at the calendar, it's virtually empty. Maybe they're not public events, but I don't know what can be done. I don't know what the barriers are to getting really quality performances and getting a full schedule there. Because we have the facility, so where's the art? So that's a question. That was it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for coming up with your comments. I do want to address both the dog issue as well as the Performance Arts Center. Start with the Performance Arts Center. I have been contacted by a number of both local and not so local talents that do want to come in and bring entertainment to the Bowie Performance Arts Center. So we are working at completing that schedule. I will tell you, you're absolutely right, it is a phenomenal facility that we should take full advantage of as Bowie residents. Your taxpayers, it's your center as well. Also, it is a dual relationship with both the county and the city, but the city has precedence over that location. We're talking about the Bowie Performance Arts. We get like 3, is it a quarter or years? Well, just, and to go back to the animal control, I would suggest, I know this might sound a bit Inspector Gadget, but I would suggest perhaps maybe taking a photo when you see your neighbor walking the dog without a leash. I have had this happen in my neighborhood and I have a dog, so this neighbor of mine, dog has attacked my dog as well as myself. And then, you just don't want that to continue, as well as you want to encourage your neighbors to picking up behind their dogs as well. I mean, that is imperative. A number of things can occur from that. Surely, we all are aware of that. But I'll let Ms. Cooper, if anyone wants to address further the Bowie Performance Arts Center.
What I would add to that it is used by the school system. And so sometimes when you don't see public programming, it's because of performances or programs that are going on through the school system. And the city puts money to support the Performing Arts Center, and so does Park and Planning, but it is primarily the school system facility. And the person who manages the facility is an employee of the school system. Okay. We have another text comment here. This one says, I too support less garbage pickup and more recycling and composting, given that PG County has the largest composting facility on the East Coast. Second, do we have any power to affect the new developments at the Glendale Golf Course and the senior living facility on Hillmead that are going to seriously increase traffic in this area?
This is Glendale and Hillmead?
Yes.
Then no, it's Glendale and Hillmead.
Those are both outside the city.
Yeah, so the city can review development projects that happen immediately outside.
The city can review development projects that happen immediately outside of our border, but we're just issuing a recommendation. Development has been coming up in the 4 years that I've been on the city council. I'll give the speech that I should just get tattooed on my forehead, because I give it every day. When it comes to development, the new city council is very skeptical about new development and is much more in line with where residents have been for a while on the issue of development. We have voted down every single project that's come before us since we were sworn in. The The challenge is that we can say no to every single project, but the county still has the final say, right? And while we get rooms full of people like this who talk to us about the issue of development, the county doesn't feel the same pressure that we do on this issue. They just don't, right? And even when they do get, a few dozen residents to show up like they did with Free State Airport, they just move things around the agenda and then they eventually vote for it anyway. So the only thing that's going to get development to slow down in this county at all is if county council members feel like they could lose their elections over the issue. It really is as simple as that. And the problem is they're not scared at all. I had a conversation with a constituent affairs person for one of the county council members just 2 weeks ago, and he goes, yeah, you guys are so quiet in Bowie, we never hear your residents about anything. Well, that gave me a heart attack, because that means that we're not going to get anything at all if the county council, person's constituent affairs guy doesn't hear from our residents. They're not afraid. They're not worried about their next election, right? If they're not even getting calls about development to their office. So it can change. In Anne Arundel County, the new county executive there, Stuart Pittman, is literally talking about a total moratorium on all new development in the county. This is an extremely pro-development county, so that's a huge turnaround. That only happened because the last county executive got taken out in an election, right? So until county residents start thinking about the issue of development more when they vote and holding their elected leaders to the issue of development more, nothing's going to change, no matter how much we vote against development up here. It's a little bleak, but that's the truth. It's important that you guys understand that and that folks carry that forward. It's the only way anything's going to change if the county's actually scared of voters on this issue.
I just wanted to say, we hear this, but do the people of your various districts know this? Can you get that word out to them? Say, we have these listening sessions, but it's not going beyond the, Bowie. You're worried about certain things, and you want to get in touch with them. Instruct us on how to do that. What's the best way to do it? Let us know how to reach out. We will.
Okay. I'm constantly sharing. Thank you, Mark. I'm constantly sharing the email addresses of our county council members. We can get you in touch. Every other email I send these days includes Todd Turner, Calvin Hawkins, and Mel Frank.
But yeah, even coming from the mayor's office, we're held back by the county. Help us help you.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. And for a shameless plug for theater, the project that Dustin mentioned was we're working on an arts and entertainment district concept for Old Bowie, and that's something we want to bring to Bowie. We see that people want that. It's wonderful to hear that. We could use the help in building this, and one of the things we're planning to do is bring a street festival to Old Bowie this fall to start this project off. More on that. We want to hold a community meeting for that too.
What is your next meeting?
Well, we have, every other week we have a meeting, but we plan to do a community meeting to bring it to the folks. So we'll set up something maybe here in this facility.
And for the sake of the audience, when are your regular meetings?
We're meeting every other Tuesday over at Ken Hill, so we just had one this week. We'll have one in 2 weeks. And if you want to get through your, through Michael, we can get the information to you if you're interested.
And if people want to sign up, how do they get in touch with you?
If they can get in touch with you, then you and I can communicate. Yeah, that would be lovely.
All right. So everyone email me, and I'll
You've been a wonderful supporter of the project.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else who would like that report? All right, then with that, I don't have any more texts. And this concludes our listening session. Thank you very, very much for sharing your thoughts. Mary, would you like to say?
Just a couple of quick things. And that is,
Again, thank you for coming up. I know we've talked about what's important for us as a community, and again, it goes back to hearing your voice. Please know that as we move forward, we are collecting the information, we are trying to synthesize the data, we are trying to really make sure that we hear what you're saying, that we try and look at what processes we can improve with the police department and a lot of the staff here. We try to address any immediate issue that we can. So you may see people want to talk to you if you've made a comment, if they think they can do something immediately to address that. So please share that time. But most importantly, I heard someone talk about the districts and how do we make sure everyone good. That's a part of these listening sessions. It's to do it such that it isn't about the district that we're in, it's about the city as a whole. And I really want everyone to take to heart when we talk about one city, one Bowie. That's making sure North Bowie, South Bowie, Old Bowie. Bowie is just one city. And when we talk about how we can really make a change when it comes to trying to get our own zoning and all of those things, it's about us being one city and making sure that when our voice is heard, it's heard as one city. Yeah, remember, we're the largest city in Prince George's County. And I just want to make sure that when it comes to our representation, as it goes with the county, that we're also recognized, again, as being the largest city. So I ask that you be engaged, that you give us your feedback, but also that you make sure that you listen and that you support us. And when we talk about calling our county council and reaching out to them, that you do that. That we do need that support. We're here for you, and we're speaking out. But we've got to have you to support us, and we've got to make sure that they hear your voices loud and clear. So again, for myself, thank you for being here, and again, remember, one city, one Bowie.
Just a couple quick announcements. The final session is on Wednesday, February 26th at the Ken Hill Center. And if I could just make a little commercial announcement for the U.S. Census. It starts around March 12th. You'll be able to fill out your form online. They're going to try and do this one primarily online. And it's really important that you do it. It's how a lot of money gets allocated for schools, roads, police, all sorts of things. So please help us, help each other by doing your part with the census. And thank you again, everyone, for coming out this evening.
Thank you, everyone.